Dear participants, we're very sorry for the technical challenges. Welcome again for this event. On behalf of WiNI Global Young Generation and WiNI Women in Nuclear Innovation Group, we thank you for your engagement on this webinar series for the 2025 Erasmus Mundus Scholarship Program. So first of all, this event is hosted by my dear colleague Geraldine Nneka from Nigeria and myself, Florencia Renteria, representing the Innovation Group. And this is the agenda for today. We have some welcome remarks, the opening ceremony, and some announcements from the EPRI team. Emma Wong is joining us, and some overviews of the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship Program by the main speakers. First of all, we have Alexis on behalf of the SERENA's program, and Ayesha on the NucPhys and Godsfavour on the FusionEP program. And then we will follow up on a Q&A session and having some closing remarks. My dear colleague, Geraldine, I don't know if you can hear us. Please, if you can just provide some welcoming words, I will appreciate it. I think Geraldine is having some technical challenges as myself. So let me just jump straight forward to the some introduction that we prepared for you in terms of a career building program and how to design your own roadmap program, which is very important in terms of professional aspects and skill development, networking and global perspective, educational foundation, ethics and integrity, and adaptability and resilience. So first of all, why it's so important to navigate your career roadmap. A career roadmap is essential for providing clarity and direction in one's professional journey by setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, and identifying areas for growth. Individuals can proactively plan their development and make informed decisions. A well-defined roadmap allows for flexibility while guiding decision-making, helping others, individuals stay focused and motivated. It encourages self-awareness, time management, and accountability, fostering continuous learning and adaptation to changing circumstances. Ultimately, a career roadmap empowers individuals to pursue meaningful opportunities that align with their aspirations and values, ensuring long-term success and satisfaction in their careers. We encourage you for young professionals to use this roadmap. We have created this last year. It's a guide of recognizing that your unique journey may involve detours and unexpected opportunities, but flexibility, continuous learning, and passion for your chosen field will contribute to a successful and rewarding career. This exercise was designed for mapping your own in terms of career roadmap, what's your current status, and it helps to provide a scale to standardize a framework for assessing individuals' capabilities and interests, facilitating the allocation of mapping, assessment, values, and measurable of key performance indicators in career roadmap development. It enables organizations to make informed decisions about talent development, resource allocation, and strategic planning based on quantifiable data. And then you can make your own assessment depending on the aspects that you want to improve in your career. Some of the aspects could be already developed or are about to develop, or some of them you haven't considered yet. So you can visit this short link that it is here under the description to download the formats, and even you can revisit the recording that we developed for the workshop last year. It's online on YouTube channel, so we invite you all to know more about this. Now I would like to pass the floor to Emma Wong. She's my colleague in the WiNI group, and she's a principal leader in nuclear engagement, strategy, and innovation at EPRI, Electric Power Research Institute from United States. Emma, please, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you very well. Please go ahead.
The camera. All right. Thank you, Florencia, and Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone is safe and having a good new year. I believe that you do have slides for me. So if we can go to the first slide.
Yes, I do have the slides for you.
Thank you, Florencia. No worries. Happy to be here. If you go to the next slide, just a little bit about EPRI, which is the next slide here. Very interesting. Oh, there it is. Just a little bit about EPRI. This is the, Women in Nuclear Young Generation group, a very, very strong group, very, very proud to always be able to, with Florencia, be able to support in any ways possible. But EPRI is a little bit more than nuclear. We do look at all of the different areas in the energy ecosystem. We look at technology innovation. That is one of the big areas that I'm really passionate about, and that's why I'm in the innovation group with Florencia as well. And we do have like cross collaboration. We do encourage a lot of, cross pollination between all of the groups. And I hope actually to bring to WiN Global this coming year a lot of that new information, a lot of that collaboration, and have women together around the world really coming together and moving everything forward. I think we're part of the key to move things forward. And like this generation that I'm talking to, the young generation, you're the key. I feel like I'm the old person in the room and I have to support you all. And because of that, so you can scan that. I'm sure Florencia will give you these slides, but go to the next slide, please. I really wanted to come here and talk just very briefly about two challenges that we have ongoing right now at EPRI. And we will be launching challenges, every, probably 6 to 9 months. But the current challenge right now, what we call the EDGE Challenge, Innovate for Impact. And it's geared towards university students. So, more professionals cannot apply for this. This is to try to help spur that innovative thinking in university students. If you scan that, you can go find some more information. It really is a nuclear challenge, and it's looking at you really need to think about design here, like designing a gasket that measures compressive strength in real time. What's going to happen is people can put in a really easy proposal. In February, we'll take the top 10 finalists, and we will provide a little bit of money if you need to get a license for a program to try to do this, or, a computer program, or if you need to, it's a gasket, right? If you need materials to test, we're happy to help purchase some of these materials, and then you'll actually create kind of a pitch. So like, I don't know if you all have seen Shark Tank, but like making a pitch to like try to pitch that. And so in saying that, there are prizes if you do win. And so I encourage university students, or pass this on to your university friends, to try to really make this really impactful for whoever. The other challenge is what we call our quantum challenge. I am the lead of quantum technologies in the nuclear sector. So we are looking to try to pair it with fusion energy. Fusion energy will need a lot of quantum technologies, not just computing, but quantum sensing, quantum networking, quantum cybersecurity, all of those different areas. So I encourage you, if you have any in these type of fields, to look at both of those. The Quantum Challenge actually did launch last week, along with the Consumer Electronics Show in the United States, to try to capitalize on the technical aspects that are, and innovation that's happening all around January. And so with that, I think Florencia, like I'm happy to have them email me if they have questions or anything, and I turn it back to you.
Sorry about the technical challenges with the screen.
Don't worry about it. I know this is normal.
Thank you so much. So should I provide your email and Charlotte's email, or they just get back to you quickly?
Yeah, provide both of the emails. Charlene, she really wanted to be here. She's really the young advocate right now. But she's in Chile talking to their ministers and everything and trying to drive nuclear power there. So she's on the ground working. So I am now having to do all the virtual activities, but I'm happy to do it. Always happy to support.
Thank you so much. You are a true angel and a true guardian angel of this innovation mission towards the future. So if anyone from the attendees has any questions for Emma, please feel free to raise your hand or drop your comments on the chat. We will also provide Emma's contact and Charlene's contact as well, and we will share those slides. I think we get one comment.
Oh, there's one hand. Perfect.
There's one here.
Says David.
Oh no, it's David. Let me see. Please, David, go ahead. Okay. I think you have now permission to ask your question.
Hello. Can you hear
Hi,
me,
David.
please?
Yes, we do hear
Hi.
you.
I'm David from Kenya.
Hi, David.
Yes, I can hear you, please. I'm from Kenya. Hello.
Yes, of course. I'm waiting for any questions you have.
Yes. How can we? You said we can. People who are interested can reach you out, please. Would you kindly help us with your email address?
Yes, I'm going to type my email address as soon as Florencia takes back, control, and I'll type my email address into the chat. And so feel free to email me through the chat.
Thank you.
No, well, not in the chat, but I, take my email from there.
Thank you.
No worries. We will also provide the slides to all the registered participants and the complementary materials. So no worries, all those details will be provided after the event. Thank you, Emma, for your warm support as always.
Of course.
Okay. So thank you very much for representing IMPRI and for enlarging these capabilities to share the challenges in the community. We would like to continue with the rest of the program, and we really thank you for coming and joining us, Emma. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'd like to pass the floor to my colleague, Geraldine. Please, Geraldine, if you can enlighten us with the next overview of the program. Oh. We have the link of the challenges shared by IMPRI as well. And if you want to visit the link to get more information, we also have a MS email, and I'll provide as well Charlene's email. So I would like to introduce part of our speakers about this event. I think my dear colleague Geraldine is having some technical challenges in Nigeria. So we have Alexis Amachree from the program of SERENA representing Godsfavour Amanekwe. He's a nuclear fusion and engineering physics student. And then Ayesha Manzoor from the nuclear physics program. First of all, we thank you so much for your great participation and engagement on this event. We are very happy to have you with us today, sharing your experiences, what you have done through your journey, and specifically what is what are some of the aspects that the participants can cover along the way in their career. They are applying for a scholarship program, how they will be guiding through the process, or some of your insights and experiences that you navigated through this process, because it's very difficult most of the time to get all the ideas, and if we don't hear from someone that has done before, it's a little bit complicated. So first of all, I would like to start with Alexis. She's from the Erasmus Mundus Association Program Representative for Safe and Reliable Nuclear Applications Master Program. Alexis, welcome to the house, and the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you very well. Thank you
Okay,
so
perfect.
much, Alexis.
So I will try to share my screen.
Yes, please let us know. I think you have already the permission.
Okay. Yeah, I do. So start from the beginning.
Please.
Is it showing?
Yes, it's showing.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Okay, so, all right. So today I'll be speaking about my program, which is the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree in Safe and Reliable Nuclear Applications, which stands for SERENA. And just a brief introduction about myself. My name is Alexis Amachree, and I am currently the representative for the SERENA program for the Erasmus Mundus Association. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me through email on serena@em-a.eu or through Instagram at Erasmus_Mundus_SERENA. So I'm quickly going to dive right into my presentation because I think I have just 15 minutes to explain. First things first, a program description. So what is SERENA? SERENA, like it's been on the flyer, it's a nuclear engineering master's program under the Erasmus Mundus Erasmus Mundus Scholarships. And for us, it's a 2-year master's. So we're talking 24 months, right? And this program is divided into 4 semesters. And each of the 4 semesters will be taking place in different countries. So it's interesting because all 2 years will account for about 120 ECTS. ECTS here is the grading procedure for a lot of universities. So the program will begin with a lot of academic phases in 3 semesters. We're talking exams, lectures, homeworks, group works, and all of these things will account for about 90 of the ECTS. While at the last semester, you would go for either an industry or research-oriented internship, and then you have to write your master's thesis or your internship report before you can get your degree and graduate from the program. So in essence, SERENA Masters, it's a nuclear program, which is 2 years and has 4 semesters. But what is striking about this program is that it's not just a single program. It actually has 2 different tracks. So the first track we have is track A, and we call this track the Radioactive Waste Management and Decommissioning track, RWMD. So in this track, they focus more about nuclear waste management, decommissioning, and dismantlement. So a lot of things that happen after the reactor has been in operation, then you talk about this track. While we have the track B, which is more into how to operate a nuclear reactor, how to design a nuclear reactor, designing the reactor core, a lot of engineering stuff, and safety. And this track is the NROS, which is Nuclear Reactor Operations and Safety. If you want to know more details about the program, you can always go to the website here at SERENA, imtatlantic.fr, or you can contact the administration with SERENA at imtatlantic.fr. So more into the curriculum and what we study here. So this is just the introduction before I go into how you can apply, right? So first things first, like I said, the program has 2 tracks. And in the first semester, we start in IMT Atlantic in France. So your first mobility will be in France. And just so you know, Erasmus Mundus is about studying and traveling. So we travel to France for the first semester, where we learn about the basic nuclear physics and other extracurricular activities such as management, entrepreneurship, and even French language. So you learn here physics of ionizing radiations, nuclear modeling, radiation detection, and neutron physics. So for those who chose to be in the ROWMD track, the track about waste management, you have the green pathway. And for those who would choose to be in NROS, which is the reactor operations track, you would follow the blue pathway. So for the second semester, all students will be split into two groups, which is according to your choice. And the first team or the first group of students will be heading to Spain at University Politécnico de Madrid, which is in Spain, in Madrid. And in this semester, you will learn about radiochemistry, waste management, radiological impact, nuclear safety, and transmutation of nuclear waste. While in your third semester, you will go back to France and continue your studies in dismantlement and decommissioning, geological disposal, safety management, and storage of nuclear waste. On the other hand, for those who pick the second track, after France, you'll be going to Finland. And this normally happens around this time of the year, which is January, February. So students will travel from France to Finland. And in Finland, you take more engineering-related courses, nuclear thermal hydraulics, computational, experimental, or theoretical. You take courses, extra courses such as turbulence models about mechanical systems and power systems, power plant engineering, or reactor physics analysis. So this, for me, this was my track I finished last year. And in your third semester, around October, you're going to go to University of Ljubljana, the Faculty of Mathematics and Physics, where you study more about neutronics, materials in nuclear engineering, and you have an experimental session at the Joseph Stephen Institute in Ljubljana, where you work in a nuclear reactor. And the fourth semester, all students will then have to find a 6-month internship. It could be 5 or 6 months, where you work for a company or you work for an establishment that's into nuclear or energy in general. And at the end of the semester, you will be expected to submit your master's thesis in order to have graduation. So now we'll go into fees and scholarships. So this is an 100% scholarship program. The first thing you need to know is that in SERENA, we take about 21 people every year. About 21 people, which is the maximum, but most times we only get like 17, 18 to 20 good applications that will be listed for the scholarships. And just so you know, no two countries, not more than 3 people from a country will be allowed to get a scholarship. So if you have maybe 3 people from the Philippines or 4 people from the Philippines who have very good applications, they will only take 3 out of this because it needs to go around across the globe. So the scholarships are split into 2 types. We have the program countries, which are the countries from the EU or in the EU, as well as those in the Schengen area like Switzerland, Norway, and the rest of them as well. Serbia, North Macedonia, Liechtenstein, and the United Kingdom are considered as program countries. On the other hand, the partner countries is every other country that is not enlisted in the EU or the other program countries. So wherever you are from, USA, Canada, then you're a partner country. So the scholarship itself covers 100% of your tuition, so you don't have to pay any fees, and you get extra 1,400 euros for 24 months beginning in September. Please note that if you get the scholarship as well, you'll be eligible for a lot of other scholarships. So it's not a one-way scholarship. And in SERENA, you can have more than one scholarship. And if in the event that your application doesn't make it to get the full scholarship, you can also get tuition waivers up to 80% from IMT Atlantic. Here you can attend the school, but you're not sponsored by the Erasmus Mundus, which is also the European Union. And yeah, like I said, it's also eligible for other scholarships such as the Marie Curie Fellowship, which is sponsored by the IAEA. So if you're a girl and you get SERENA, you can also be eligible for MSTFP. Going to the application document, what do you need to put into your application? The first thing you need to do is to complete and sign the application form. The application form will be given online. So you just have to fill the form, put all your details, and then you're ready to submit, and then you sign the form. Next will be an Europass CV. So you have to have your CV in Europass format and in English. So in case you're not an English speaker, please do well to also put all your applications in English language. We also have your transcripts, which must be in English. For those who didn't study in English, please try to translate your documents to English because the program is an English taught program. Your degree certificates, also in English, translate to English as well. You need 2 recommendation letters. So this letter, I would advise that you take one from a professor in your university, or if you can get the 2 from professors, that would be really helpful. Next, you need a motivation statement. And normally it's advised that it's 1 page, but if you have more than 1 page, around 2, it's still fine. But here you have to write about your aim, your objective, your reason for joining the program, and if you would be able to complete the program within the specified 24 months. So it's here that you talk about why you want to be a nuclear engineering and what you have plans for the future. Next, you need your English proficiency certificate because it's, like I said, an English taught program. So everybody needs to speak English. So you need to justify that you are fluent in English. You need your passport, the data page, and 1 recent photograph. So all these documents must be provided during your application to SERENA. It's also important to know that if you are from some particular countries, you necessarily do not need to provide English proof. For example, countries like the USA, Canada, Australia, the UK, and some African countries who are English spoken. You may not be required to provide an English proof. And yes, for those who are maybe asking, okay, can I come with a degree from tourism to study nuclear engineering? Actually, you need to be within the science or the STEM, science, technology, engineering, or mathematics relations to be part of this program. And do well to submit all your documents in PDF. So how would the admission be given? It's important to know this when you make your application because you need to know what you're applying to and how they would score you. So the first thing that is really important here is your academic degree and excellence. So here, they look into your educational background. Do you have a background in physics, in engineering, in mathematics, and how well did you do in the classes? Your grades and then university rankings will be quite a criteria to be selected for the program. Okay, so now another one you need to talk about is your professional and academic experiences. For example, when I wrote my application, I emphasized a lot about my volunteering experiences and how I was able to combine extracurricular activities with my academic activities. So it's important in Erasmus Mundus to be able to balance both your travel lifestyle as well as your school life because you travel every 6 months and you also need to write your exams and pass them. So this will be very interesting to add in your motivation letter as well as your CV. Next will be your objectives. So your future goals. What do you want to do after the program? Do you want to be in nuclear? Do you want to leave nuclear? So people who have more interest in staying in nuclear would be considered more than those who say, okay, I just want to do the master's degree. I want to do something else. So for a scholarship, you need to know that you need to have your career projections for the next 10 to 15 years. Next is how motivated are you for intercultural experiences? For example, are you from Africa? Are you from Asia? Are you interested in the European cultures? Are you interested in European languages? This will play a good role. So example, like languages, like I said, if you have English as a second language, as a first language, if you also can speak French, Finnish, Spanish, Slovenian, because these are the countries that SERENA will be mobilized to, it would help your applications as well. And then like I said, your recommendation letters. It's very important to have maybe professors or quality referees when you make your application. So if you want to apply, kindly go to this website, serena.imtatlantic.fr, where you can find every information about the program. And remember that the application deadline is on the 7th of February. And good luck. Thank you very much. So
Thank you very much, Alexis. That was a wonderful presentation, and thank you very much for sharing all the insights, how SERENA's program is covering a lot of these countries, different opportunities for so many students, and thank you very much for being on board on this mission. We really appreciate that.
Thank you very much as well.
We will jump to the next presenter, but we will have a specific Q&A session for the rest of the participants. We will appreciate if you can doing a little bit your questions, or if you can just drop your comments in the chat for the time being, but we will come back to the Q&A session. I think now Geraldine is in the house. Geraldine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much, Alexis.
To you.
Yes, thank you very much, Alexis, for the wonderful presentation. Thank you for giving us the tips and tips of applying to the SERENA program. So up next, we will be having Ayesha Manzoor. She is originally from Pakistan, and she graduated 2024 from the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree Program in Nuclear Physics. Through this program, she had the incredible opportunity to study in 7 partner universities across Spain, France, and Italy. It is worthy of mention that she is the first female Pakistani recipient of the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship in nuclear physics. So welcome, Ayesha, and you have the floor now.
Okay, hello. Let me share my screen first.
Very well.
Hi, can you see me?
We can see and hear you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So my name is Ayesha. I'm from Pakistan. I'm Erasmus Mundus Scholar from the NucPhys program. So let me share my screen so that you can see. Do you see it? Hello?
We can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so basically this presentation is basically for the tips and guidelines for all of the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship application. And as Geraldine has already introduced me, so we can move towards our presentation basically. So I will be discussing a few things, which are the most important ones: the general application guidelines, how to craft the strong application, how can we relate the background, like academic background and our experience, and some personal tips basically from my side. All right, so basically before directly going towards the general application guidelines, let me just wait for this part that all of these detailed instructions and the guidelines are already mentioned on the particular website on this nuclear physics application and admission requirement page. So you can go and check all of the details in very particularly. I'm not going to explain each and everything here, as Alexis has already explained most of the stuff, so it's kind of repetitive now. Basically the nuclear physics program is kind of having 3 main parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. Basically,
hello,
from the
Ayesha. Sorry to interrupt, but your screen is not moving. Your slides are not changing.
Now it's moving?
Not yet.
Okay, let me see what's the, because from my side it's already been.
Yeah, it is. It's moving now.
Okay.
we can see the tips to ace your Erasmus Mundus
Okay,
Scholarship
so now
application.
it's moved.
Not yet.
It's moving.
Not
What's
yet.
the problem?
Yes,
Because I
we can see table of contents now.
Okay, now it's moved.
It's on table of contents.
From my side, it's moving, like I'm going towards the first slide. I don't know what's the problem. Let me share again.
Okay.
Sorry for this
No, it's okay.
glitch. Okay, let me share again. Now it's moving.
Yeah, general application guideline.
Okay,
Yes,
so it's moving. Let me just go to the slideshow mode. Okay, now you can see.
I think that is where the problem is, the slideshow mode.
It should be.
Yes, it's moving now.
But it should be in the slideshow mode. You can see it now.
Yeah, we can see tips to ace your Erasmus Mundus Scholarship application.
And it's not, and it's freezing.
Yes, it's frozen. Yes, it's moving. Yes, it's moving.
I think there is a problem with the slideshow. Okay.
Okay, just go ahead. We can make do with this.
Okay, so it's moving, right? Or I can maybe stop the slideshow view.
Yeah, maybe you should stop the slideshow.
Okay.
If someone has a suggestion, to press F5.
No, I am doing that because I think there is a problem with my screen that it's not properly shared, because from my side, it's moving and it's sharing the window.
Okay. So there is an icon on your screen at the tab that shows present in Teams. Does that work?
I think at the bottom of your screen, there is you have the magnifier. It's in the left side. There is a shortcut in the bottom right side.
No,
if it doesn't work, I think we can continue this if it's the way to see the slides. What do you think, Geraldine?
Yeah, it should be work because we used to do, like a lot of presentation and meetings.
No worries. Like if you can just run the slides, Ayesha, as like without presenting a slideshow mode, that the participants can see the content of your slides.
Okay, now you can see me moving the slides.
Not yet. I think you stop presenting. You can just go back again, please.
I'm so sorry for all of this stuff.
No, it's okay.
It happens. It's part of the technology challenges. No worries.
Because from my side, it's working fine. I am going towards the slideshow mode.
Yeah, it happens that way sometimes.
But it's not moving further from your side.
No.
Now you can see me.
Do you mind if I share on your behalf from my end?
Yeah. If that works, because I shared my. Okay, I can stop sharing.
Yes.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes,
We do
yes.
see it.
So when you need me to move, just let me know.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Okay.
Can you move further? Because the
Okay.
fonts are kind of behaving weird. Okay, we can work with that. I'm so sorry for, I don't know what's happening, but we can
No
work with that.
worries. No worries.
Okay, so let me just recall again. Basically, I am not going to explain a lot of the stuff because Alexis has already explained very detailed, like the basic part. But for the nuclear physics program, you can just go to this website and find a lot of like information with all of the paths and details. But shortly, I can just tell you that there are three basically main paths: path 1, path 2, and path 3, with the focus on theoretical physics, with the application part, with the medical technology part, medical physics. You know, these three are divided into three paths basically. So the first path is mainly in the host university, which is the University of Seville, and then the path basically split up in different countries like Italy and France basically. So the main general application like that you need to do is basically be mindful of the deadlines. Mostly the deadline is in 31st of December, but most of the time they extended the deadline towards the 31st of January basically. So you have to be basically have to apply before and prepare your application way before if you are at the last semester basically. So I think you can maybe prepare your application in the last semester, like starting from there, like 4 to 5 months before basically, so that you have all of the documents and all of the prior information and everything. Basically, uh, there is the required documents that are important are those academic transcripts, certificates, your proof of English proficiency, your CV. Basically follow the Europass format if possible, because the CV works in Europe. And the rest is the recommendation letters from your professors and other certificates if you have, like internship certificate or any other stuff basically. Next slide, please. So these are the general things. Okay, so how do you craft a strong application? I think the fonts and everything is basically disrupted in this, which is I am seeing. I don't know if everybody's seeing the stuff. So the first thing is the motivation letter, which is a very most important one, and you have to motivation letter, or you can say the motivation statement. These are the different names. So the thing is, in my program, this is the main important thing. So you have to write a personal statement in order to express clearly why they choose you basically. So you can relate all of your educational background and stuff like this to the program's goal. So you can help out with checking the program's website. You can easily go there and then try to relate if this goal is basically related to your academic and professional journey. And also you can tell them your passion and your towards the nuclear physics basically this program is the basics of the nuclear physics, which includes the particle physics and nuclear physics stuff, medical physics and stuff like this. So you can relate if you have any of these experiences in that. The next and most important part is the letter of recommendation. And from my colleagues from the nuclear physics program, they told me that this stuff is very important. It's very important, but it's the most important, I think, the stuff in the nuclear physics in our program, because when we asked from our teachers, they told us that we have received so many letters that are not properly described, like teachers just randomly and generally stated the statements, which is already all the general stuff. So you can ask your professors that not only knows you personally but also knows you professionally, that can give you a very tailored and detailed letters of what you have done in their courses, or stuff like this. And the last stuff is your CV. So obviously the bachelor students, they do not have a lot of experience, a lot of papers, stuff like this. So you need to tailor your CV focusing on the relevant experience. Like you have one internship, maybe it's only for like 1 month internship, some skills and professional roles that you have done, maybe tutoring stuff, or you have done some student jobs in your university, stuff like this. So highlight these main important parts. And also you have to quantify your achievements, little achievements, and if you have some awards, if you have any research paper, which is very rare that you have in your bachelor's thesis like before. So it's these things are basically important one. Next slide, please. Okay, can you just move? Okay. So these are that, as I discussed before, that the program needs to be relevant with your background, academic background, and your experience. If you do not have a lot of stuff, that if you do not have very fancy, I can say that fancy profile, but you can work with that. So you have to relate your educational background. For example, if you are a student from basic, like bachelor's student from physics, applied physics, nuclear engineering, like these kind of people, they can mention in your motivation statement also that you have studied these courses like quantum physics, particle physics, basics, modern physics, atomic physics. This you can also mention. This can also help the teachers or the jury members to see that, okay, this person has the basic of the information. So you need to relate your educational background. The next one is the research experience. Obviously, you are just in the lowest of the research level, which is a bachelor's. So you have to mention your data analysis skills, because we've been doing a lot of lab work in all of our degree in the 4-year program. So we have done a lot of experimental work. We have done, if you have some programming skills like C++, Python, even the basic level, not like the advanced one, but the basic level. Or if you have used some tools and softwares, MATLAB, or you have like kind of other data analysis skill like R, different statistical tools. So you can mention in your CV also, and you can also mention in your motivation statement that you have acquired these skills while doing these lab projects, or like, assisting in these lab works basically. The third one is the professional experience. So professional experience is very, not very advanced one, like a jobs one, but student jobs in your all of this degree, or if you have some extracurricular activities or some volunteer work, this can also help, because I have few extracurricular activities, because sometimes the also department has some of the societies like physics society, science societies, a different kind of societies. You can, if you have been a part of this, you can also mention that. It can also help checking your all of these different interpersonal skills, your leadership goals. You can also relate with that. And also in the last, I can also say that I have reviewed some motivation statement from the students, and these are all the general ones. So try to personalize your statement according to your own. It needs not to be some fancy words or like some fancy kind of a motivation statement. It just needs to be a personalized one, very simple and easy English, that easily understandable, because this thing is very important. Even you have a very good English or very thing, but the people in Europe, or also the most of the teachers, they don't have a very excellent command of English. This is what I have experienced and I have seen. Only most of the even though their main field is very excellent, but the English skills are kind of a normal. So you don't try to use and put very fancy words. So just be simple, be personalized one, and don't talk about a lot of their program, because they know their program very well. So you need to try to explain yourself your experiences like in different paragraphs, from starting from, you know, very basic of your education. Then you have done your internship, so like you have to do these kind of stuff, and then easily correlate and also connect all of these paragraphs accordingly. So you have to be your statement should be personalized in your own way. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the some personal tips from my side which work for me, and I always tell people. And it's basically you need to be a storyteller, that you are describing your own story, you know, make your story worth read from their side. And that's why your application will look kind of a more personal touch rather than just kind of a general one. Then you have to show a general motivation and also the like genuine interest in what you are going to do. You have to basically mention your long-term goal, like what you are going to do. You wanted to go for some industrial job, or like your long-term goal should be a PhD, because by mastering those research environment and research skills, you will go to whatever goal you have. So try to show your very you know, like genuine one, not kind of just uh, tell them kind of fake things basically. And also emphasize the adaptability and the cultural openness, because these people believe in their cultures, and if you like try to mold your interpersonal skills and your cross-cultural experiences that you have gained from you know, arranging some symposium seminars, some volunteering work, some you can correlate with that you can easily integrate in their environment, in their culture basically. And last but not the least, do not hesitate to seek help from your mentors and your seniors, any of the alumni that you found, because nowadays it's very easy to connect with from the LinkedIn or from the different social accounts that you have basically. Next slide, please. So okay, so basically this is all stuff. I am not able to explain a lot of stuff, but you can always contact me from my social, from my email, and also to my LinkedIn if you have any detailed questions. If you want to have your motivational statement, CV proofread or review, then you can contact me over there. I've been doing these things from a very long time, and yeah, this is the basic one. So thank you for your time, and for this presentation. And I apologize again for this technical stuff that has been happened, because it was not in my calendar basically. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Ayesha. Despite the technical issues, you were able to give us a very wonderful presentation with a lot of application guidelines and things that we could implement to get a compelling application. So up next, and finally, we will be having Godsfavour Amanekwe. Godsfavour Amanekwe is a Nigerian physicist and a nuclear fusion researcher. He has the European Joint Master's degree in nuclear fusion and engineering physics. Godsfavour has a music single titled Fusion Here, which was released to increase the global awareness about the fusion program. Quite interesting from you, Godsfavour. Can you hear me, Godsfavour?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So one thing extra, we would want you to play a snippet of your audio if you have it here. It's quite interesting that you went the extra mile and quite an unusual way to bring awareness. So you have the floor now, please.
Okay. I will share my screen, and then I don't know. I will try to see if I can also play the audio. So So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Is it on slideshow? Yeah. So is it
Not
now on
yet.
slideshow? Like not yet on slideshow? Okay. It's yeah. It'll be on slideshow. So I don't know why it's taking so long. What's going on? Okay. Is it good now?
I don't know if it's from my end, but I cannot see your screen.
Can you see it now?
Sorry, if someone else could see his screen, you could give us a thumbs up or some reaction.
And on my side, I'm able to see his full screen.
Okay.
Okay. Did you say you can see the full screen or?
Full screen, like the presenter's mode. I think you can continue your presentation.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be here. Thank you for making me join this interesting webinar. So I will just share some tips for the FusionEP program. My name is Godsfavour Amanekwe, and I completed the Nuclear Fusion and Engineering Physics Erasmus Mundus Masters Program last year. This program is an Erasmus program which involves different universities in Europe, but it's coordinated majorly by the Aix-Marseille University in France. So, what is the FusionEP about? It's a program designed to groom and to prepare current generation and next generation fusion engineers and fusion physicists, because nuclear fusion is right now a very emerging aspect of nuclear research, and a lot of persons are required, a lot of engineers, computer scientists, physicists, even chemists, material scientists are needed in the area. So this master's is a master's designed to train people that will become experts in the field, and to make these students or everyone collaborate. So we pick people from different places and make them collaborate and make them experts in the field of nuclear fusion. So the program is basically organized in the way that you have two sites. You have two sites. Every student has two sites. So one site for the first year, another site for the second year. So at least two sites. In the first year, you do mostly courses, and you also get to watch the people in the second year do their presentations and do their research work. So, but majorly your responsibility in the first year is just to do courses, to do lab work, to do different things that are normal for semesters. So you have first semester and the second semester, and then you move to the second year where you decide the university you're going to spend the second year in, and you also decide what you're going to do in your thesis. So in the second year, which is like the most eventful year, you don't only do your thesis, but you also have hands-on projects like joint practicum. You have two joint practicum where they are divided into groups, and you work on projects for limited time, for like 2 weeks. You and your partner or partners work on a particular project, and you work non-stop for 2 weeks, and then you make presentations from them, you write reports from them. So you have these kind of programs organized in the second year. And at the end, most people from the program end up doing a PhD, and some of them go into direct employment, like myself. I've gone into direct employment. Yeah. So for the application criteria, I will just answer these questions. What kind of degree is acceptable to apply for this program? You need a bachelor's degree in either physics or engineering. It has to be in physics or in engineering. And if you haven't completed your bachelor's degree, you can also apply as long as you would have completed it by the time the program begins. So if you have a master's degree, you can also apply. What courses must I have completed for me to apply for this program? You should have done courses that are related to quantum mechanics, very important. You should also have courses related to statistical physics and courses related to electromagnetism. So if you have done courses related to these three aspects of physics, you are already in good stead. So how good should your grades be? Grades are very important, but if your grades are not as good as you want them to be, there are other ways you can augment your application. So your research experience can cover up for that. Your personal experiences too can cover up for that. So even though grades are important, you can also do well in the application, even without the best grades that you can think of. So what skills should I have and how important are these skills? So as the other speakers have said, skills in programming, skills in research. So programming languages like Python, C++, like any kind of programming language you know at all, MATLAB, data analysis skills, those are important skills that you should have. But even though you don't have them, even if you don't have these skills at the moment, you can still put in your application. That's it. So how important are they? They are important in the sense that they can boost your application, but that you don't have them don't mean that you cannot get accepted. So what else could I do to improve my chances? You can do things like including your internships. You can also write the GRE physics exam. That is a very big booster of chances. It boosts your chances a lot. If you have written GRE physics exam, it boosts your chances a lot. So if you have the time, and if you have the time, it could help if you write the GRE physics exam. What are the documents required? So there's just some basic documents that you need. You need your CV in NucPhys format. How long can the CV be? Most people say 2 pages. Some people say 3 pages. But in my experience, I've discovered that your CV can be longer than what many people think, as long as you have relevant information contained in that CV. If the CV has relevant information, like information that are relevant to the program you're applying for, then you can submit it in that way. So it can be longer than 2 or longer than 3, as long as it contains relevant information. So you also need a cover letter or motivation letter, and you need transcripts, and then you need the English proficiency proof. This is for, like, as I think someone mentioned, I don't know, I think it's Alexis who mentioned, that if you are from some countries, you don't need to write the conventional exams, that's IELTS, the Cambridge exam, and the TOEFL exam. Those are the 3 accepted certificates for English proof. You don't need to write those if you are from some countries. And then if you have had your university education in English language, you can get a letter or a certificate from your university that confirms that you have studied in English. That can serve as a replacement for these exams. For example, in my case, I didn't take the IELTS or Cambridge test or TOEFL test. I had my bachelor's in English language, so I got my university to give me a letter saying that this guy studied in English and he studied physics in English language for 4 years. So it means he can learn in English language. And that was sufficient for me to get in. So also you need recommendation letters. I didn't include those here, but they are also very important. Try to get recommendation letters from the professors and people who can write good things that are true about you. So I'll just go like more practical. I'll show, I don't know if you can see, if this is clear enough. I will show like a sample CV of what I used for my application. And I will also show a sample of the motivation letter I used and the proficiency letter that I used for my application. In the CV, what is most important for the CV, I think, is that you say, you show your experiences, you show, like, you just present yourself. Your CV, when people read your CV, they should have met you even before meeting you. That's what I think the CV does for you. If you write your CV properly, people should have met you just by reading your CV even before meeting you. So this was the CV I presented. I mean, now my CV is much better than what it is, but I'm just showing you so that you can see that even if your CV is better than this, it means you have chances. And if your CV is just like this one, it means you can also get into the program. Just to show you that it is possible. In your CV, as at then, I still had like a wider scope of research interests. So I included those in the CV. I had one official publication. So it's good if you have a publication, you can also include it. And then I had another work which was still being reviewed, and I somehow included it also, but I stated that it is pending publishing. So it all depends on how you are able to present whatever you have. One thing I've learned over time is that no experience is a useless experience. I think every experience is useful as long as you are able to prove to the committee how that experience you have is useful to them, then you should include it. And another thing is when you are writing your motivation letter, before writing a motivation letter, read through your CV first so that you don't portray what you have, a different personality from what you have on your motivation letter on the CV. So this document should like work hand in hand. When they read through this document, they should have an idea that it's the same person who has this document. There should not be any form of disparity on who this person is. This CV does not reflect who this person is and stuff like that. So every form of experience, for example, I sang in the choir, I did stuff in the choir, I also included it there. Sometimes some of these people want to see how well you are able to perform even in a multicultural space. Sometimes they want to see how diligent you can be when you are given tasks to handle. Sometimes they also want to see how healthy your social life is. So there are a lot of things, how well you can maintain the work, the pressure, how they also want to see some of these things. So if you are able to portray them in the right way, then it could be a plus also for you. This was my CV. It was two pages, but yeah, and it got me into the program and also got me the scholarship. So it means anyone can also get it. So your teaching roles, your internship roles, like I had some form of apprenticeship which was not formal. I also included it. I had an informal apprenticeship somewhere. I included it because the skill was useful. It's electronics, so it's useful. So don't, even though you're trying to be reasonable, don't box yourself into a small space. Think about the positive aspects of your life. Everybody has positive aspects of their life and their experiences. Channel it properly into the application. And then I'll show also like my motivation letter. I only covered the aspect of the motivation because I believe it's like it should be personal to me. But I have a sort of motivation letter. It's just a little above 1 page. One advice I usually give is that when you write the motivation letter, give the people who are going to read the motivation letter the impression that you have really gone through the website of that program. Like, let them get the impression that you are really interested in this program. For example, in this my motivation letter, I was able to say what track I want to do. I was able to say I was able to justify why I wanted to be in Stuttgart for my first year and why I wanted to be in Madrid for my second year. I was able to justify that. So I think it gives a sense that this person is really interested in this program. You should also find a way to include your skills, also find a way to show how your motivation is strong enough to ensure that you finish the program. You should also find a way to show that that you are going to be useful in the program and that you will also learn a lot from the program. So I can share some of these things, but I think this is enough sharing. I would say I will just go through I'll go through the motivation letter in paragraphs. The first paragraph, I introduced myself and I said what I'm writing the motivation letter for. The second paragraph, if you read through, I talked about how my interest for physics came about, how I just gave a short summary of what my life is with relations to physics generally. And then that led me to introduce how I became motivated to go into nuclear fusion and why I'm embarking on this program. So I covered that part. But I was able to show my reason for embarking on the program. And then in the same paragraph, I justified why I'm choosing the first site and why I'm choosing the second site. So it means that I've gone through the website, I've gone through those things, I've seen what is on offer in those places. Sometimes you get into the program and your idea or your pathway changes. But it's important that before you go in, you should have a plan because that also boosts your application strength. And then the other paragraphs just talks about my skills, what I've done, my leadership qualities, stuff like that. So it kind of makes everything good. And then in less than 2 pages, you have your motivation letter. So when people read your motivation letter, it should sound like you are the one who is speaking. It should sound like they are listening to you speak about yourself. So I think that's it. So when you write a motivation letter and you read through it, if it doesn't resemble who you are, then you have to go through it again and try to make it resemble who you are actually. So your CV should make people meet you before actually meeting you. And then your motivation letter should sound like people are listening to you even before they hear you speak. Then I will show an example of this kind of letter that you can get from your university if you had your undergraduate studies in English. So this letter, I got it from my university saying that this guy so did this course and he did everything in English language. Give him whatever assistance that he needs. So it's important for me to mention at this point that after I applied for this program. I got into the program, but I didn't get the scholarship on the get-go. I was kept on the waiting list. So I was like the first person on the waiting list. And luckily for me, someone else dropped out from maybe he or she got a better offer and moved on to the better offer. And then I was promoted to the scholarship list. So when you apply, I think for this year, there are no scholarships, but from next year, there will be scholarships. But when you apply, even if you don't get into the scholarship list, if you make the waiting list, you can also still make your claim, or you can also be patient. If you are lucky, you can get in also. So have that at the back of your mind that you may not get in directly, but it's also possible that even if you're on the waiting list, you can be lucky to get in, just like myself. So if I could go back in time to reapply for this program, what would I have done? I would have been more precise in following the Europass format for making my CV. Yeah. And then I would also have taken the GRE exam because I'm sure it would have boosted my chances. And then what else would I have done? Maybe I would have searched for fusion-related summer schools or workshops, or even general nuclear-related summer school workshops, both online, offline, hands-on, hands-off, remote, whatever, just to boost your chances in that area. So if I can go back, I would have tried to do this. And then also I would have attended more events like this one, so that I will learn more, like I've just done. I've learned a lot from listening to the other speakers, and also to boost my confidence, because if I had seen people with similar CV as myself, then I will be more confident to say, okay, it means I can actually apply for this, and I can actually get into this. So thank you very much for listening to me. I'm done with my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Godsfavour. Let me not bother you with the snippet of your song. So you could go online if you want to know more and search for the song. Now we are on to the Q&A section. So I believe this whole panel section has raised a lot of curiosity and questions in you. We still have the presenters on standby, and they are willing to attend to your questions. So if you have a question, you have the option of dropping it on the comment box, and I will read it out, or you raise up your hands and you can unmute and ask your question. So if you have a question, I would like to see your hands up. So while we wait for that, let me read a question from the comment box that says, is it possible to apply this scholarship in field like nuclear physics? Then in university, I changed to master's in medical physics. I don't know. This should be to Ayesha. You talked about nuclear physics having a subject, so please, if you can attend to that.
I think I have answered. I wrote answer, but I don't understand what he is asking particularly, because for me, I understood that if you are in this program, can you do your thesis work or maybe the research work towards the medical physics? This is what I understood basically.
Okay, so we have Geraldine, your hand is raised. Do you have a question? Please unmute and let's hear you. Geraldine?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for the SERENA program, the Erasmus Mundus program. When she was mentioning the document to upload during the application process, she mentioned that you have to fill sorry, I screenshotted it. I'm looking for it. Okay, completed and signed application form. So my question here is that I have already initiated the application process, and there's no like it seems to confuse me whenever they mention completed and signed application form, because in the application process I did not see anywhere that I can print something that I can sign, or somewhere that I can upload my signature or something. So if I would like her to like explain it properly for me. All I know is that I filled the application form and everything. I uploaded the supported document and other things. So like it's not clear for me when they say a completed and signed application form. So please, I want her to respond to me and maybe elaborate on that.
Okay, thank
Where do
you
you
for your question. I can hear you. When it says signed form, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sign with your pen. The
Okay.
form already is provided. You know, there's a place you write, I've read and accepted all the terms and conditions, and that's probably you tick the box and it's signed. And most times when you submit a document, it shows that they ask you, are you the person submitting this yourself? So that's what it means by signed document. So the fact that the form has been filled by you and you have submitted it and you accepted all the terms and conditions, that means you have signed the document. So that's what they mean.
All right. I think that is helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's so.
All right. Chinaza Ebere, can you unmute and let's hear your question? Hello, Chinaza, can you unmute? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay.
So my question goes to the last speaker that said something about adding the publication to the CV. So my question is, the only publications I don't have yet, but my undergraduate research is not yet publicized. So is it okay to still add it to the CV?
So in my case, just like the example I showed, one of the papers was not yet published. It was still under review, and I added it to the CV, but I indicated that it is pending publication. So I indicated it there, and yeah. So I don't think it costs me points. I don't think. I mean, with the same CV, I still got into the program. So I don't know. I don't know if there are any strict rules against that, but I don't think it cost me points. So I think you can include sometimes on the application processes for different scholarships. They state it that you should not include unpublished papers. But if it is not stated like that, you can include the paper. If it is in the process of being published, you can include it, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Godsfavour. Let me read out the question from the comment box. It says, is there an age limit for applicants? So any of you can attempt this. Okay, Ayesha, you are mute already, so.
Okay, so no age limit, but obviously you shouldn't be like way more than. So I can say that in my program, when I applied it, I had a break because I was doing a teaching job. I was a lecturer in college, so I was doing that, and I applied for this master after like 3.5 years. So you can say that there is no kind of age limit. Your application just will work fine if you have a lot of like, stuff like this. There is no age limit basically.
Okay, so the last question on the comments box says, thank you, Godsfavour, for the section. It is insightful. Please, could you share the Europass CV format, or is it the same CV you shared?
I think for the Europass CV format, it's online, right? So you can check it online, and then you the template is there online. Just follow the template. So yeah, so that CV I shared, I did not follow it like very well, like so strictly. But I think if I am to apply again, I would, I will like follow it properly, like to the letter, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so Tom,
So basically, just check online. Just check online. Check online for the Europass. Just search on Google Europass CV format. Sorry for cutting you, Geraldine. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. So Tom, your hands are up. You have the floor now.
Okay, thank you very much. The presentations have been good and we are really appreciating. My name is Tom Juma from Kenya. I have a question concerning the proof for English proficiency. In Kenya, we do 844 system where you go for primary education for 8 years and do a certificate course where English is graded independently. And then in high school again, English is graded independently as a language. Is it, if I attach the two certificates, will it be a proof that I'm proficient in English, or I must just get a letter from the university?
Okay, any of the presenters can help us do justice to that. Okay, Alexis,
Can I say
you've
the
not
comment?
spoken.
Hi, sorry. Okay, so I'm just gonna check quickly if Kenya is a part of the countries that are... Okay, so for SERENA, Kenya is exempted from English test. All you need to do is to provide a letter from your university that you have studied in English. So Kenya is eligible for this, yes.
Okay,
I don't know
so
for the other
generally,
programs, but for SERENA, Kenya is part of the English speakers.
so generally,
Geraldine,
yeah. Okay.
can I say the comment? Normally for other scholarships, it's better that you contact the administrators of the program because it depends of the region where you are and the country where you're coming from. For other English native speaker countries, there is some exceptions. For others, you have to provide a letter of recommendation. For the people who are non-native speakers, it's recommended IELTS test, TOEFL, or it depends if you're applying to an American university, it's a GRE test. But it's better that you elaborate the question directly to the administrators of the program. That you make sure, depending of the record forms or papers, that it can support your application. Returning to Shina's question related to how about if I include unpublished papers on my application. It's better that you updated the status of that particular publication. If it's under revision, you can write it down under CV. But it's not ethical to share, for example, the full paper content if you are submitting a specific format of it. What's best if you submit just the abstract related to that publication, because the abstract, let's say it's under revision with the journal, then there is no harm if you share the abstract. But if you're sharing the full content of the paper, it can harm part of the publication process. So just be cautious when you share part of the research work that you have developed, or if you have some potential ideas to develop, who will be in charge of this, who's having the copyrights, and so on. So just be careful, just as an advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Florencia. That was very helpful. So one more question from the chat box. It says, I finalized my degree in physics last year and I have no any experience yet. Am I eligible for this scholarship? Any of the speaker can take on this?
Can I take
Yes,
that question?
you're eligible. Yes,
Okay.
you are.
So basically the thing is, if you have no experience, I don't understand how you can have no experience, even if it's like a very 2 weeks of internship, because in your physics degree, you will have some lab work experience from the very start, from the very first semester, you are doing some experimental work, and the part of internship is mandatory in your program. And also you have done your thesis, which is kind of a project work. If it's not the research one, but it's like a project, final year project. So that means you have like kind of this experience. So you have used some of the tools in order to complete your thesis work. So you can say, you know, like you can basically explain or like mention those skills that you have used. So it can also be basically included in the experience part. I think so.
Okay, thank you very much, Ayesha, for doing justice to that question. We still have one more hand that is raised, and that's from Geraldine. Geraldine, do you have a question
Yes,
again? Or okay, please, you
I
have the
just
floor now.
yeah, I just want to like talk to Alexis. I don't know if it will be okay for her to review my statement, my motivation statement for the SERENA program.
Yes, please. Can you reach me on LinkedIn and send me the copy?
Okay.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'll write my LinkedIn here.
We are having more questions. We have more questions on the chat box. One says, is it possible to retract reference later uploaded by referee for SERENA? Alexis?
Sorry, I'm just trying to write the... Okay, so what's the question?
Is it possible to retract a reference later uploaded by a referee for
Retract? I don't think so. I don't think you can take, because an application documents, the application form is together, and you have to put all your documents in that one form. Unless you maybe write to SERENA at Atlantic and explain that you want to change this, but I don't think you can retract this from the online form.
Okay.
So best just have to reach out to the administration and explain maybe you want to make a change. And if they allow for this, then it's fine. But if not, it's impossible to do this from your end.
Okay. So another question, if I have been employed for 4 years now and I graduated 4 years ago, is it possible for my supervisor to recommend me instead of professors from the university? Someone who has been out of school for quite a time. I think, Ayesha, you had similar experience.
Yes. So basically, the thing is that what I have been seeing also, that one letter should be from your supervisor. It's better because he will explain much of your research experience, research abilities, research skills. He will tell more about that. Even if it's like your bachelor thesis supervisor, he can tell about like the project that you were working, and one from any of the professor that you have some. But the thing is, very important thing is, these recommendation letters should be from those professors or from your supervisor that have very good personal and also very professional like experience. It's not like just take a random professor from maybe like second semester or like third semester and just put it here, and then he or she will not basically give you a more detailed and a tailored one. So it should be like one from a professor and one from your supervisor.
Yeah, can I add to this?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think I also have similar experience. I left university 3 years before I got the master's. So I had one letter from my professor in the university and one letter from my boss when I was working. So it's very okay to have that.
Okay, so I guess this is going to be the final question. It says, is there a minimum eligibility in case of GPA for this scholarship?
I would say you should check the website for the particular program you want to apply to. For my program, it's not written there the like minimum grade that you should have. Yeah, but I think for some other programs they have a minimum grade. So try as much as you can to read through the website for any program, even before you begin the application, as if you haven't started, try to read through it as much as you can, so you get any information that we haven't mentioned here. Yeah. So it's program specific most of the time.
So Geraldine,
Let me just add something.
Okay.
Let me just add something related to the GPA. You just need to be careful because there are different scales for the GPA, 4.0, 4.3, and maybe you are coming from an American region like, I don't know, South America. Myself, I'm from Mexico. So I had a challenge when I went to South Korea to study. Some of the conversion of my grades had to use a specific scale. Or if you are from the African region, you just need to see how the system is rated. If you can get some converter in your academic university, or if you go for an authorization, a specific document, this is also that you can validate through the Ministry of Education, because some GPA are very specific. You just need to check very well this details before you are submitting a specific format for the application of any scholarship in the world. So thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
No, thank you very much for that point. It's a very worthy mention. So I think we've attended to all questions and answered. Thank you very much to Alexis, to Ayesha, and to Godsfavour. Thank you for doing justice to all the questions. Okay,
thank you,
someone is asking. Okay, someone is asking for the audio required regarding the fusion. So you just go online and Google Fusion now, and it's.
No, I will type the title in the in the comment,
okay,
in the chat.
So okay, so just look at the comments to find a link to the audio, and you can enjoy. That's a very unconventional way of advocacy. Thumbs up to you for that. So in conclusion, thank you all very much for being part of this webinar. We appreciate your attendance. So going forward, you register on the program application portal and begin your application proper. So don't forget to reach out to the guests for mentorship and guidance. They are more than willing to assist. Please, Godsfavour and Ayesha, could you drop your LinkedIn LinkedIn name or on the comment box so that they can easily reach out to you. So going further, okay, so going further, you can send any other inquiries that you have to the SERENA email address. You can send it to that of nuclear physics or the one for FusionEP. So thank you so much for being part of this. I will hand over to Florencia for her vote of thanks.
Thank you very much to all the attendees and for your wonderful participation and engagement on this event. We look forward to cooperate with the rest of the speakers and the community. And please, Alexis, Ayesha, and Godsfavour, if you have any other additional information to share with the participants or other further events, we will appreciate to distribute the information to the nuclear community and beyond. This is part of our mission. And I also like to remind we have some email contacts in case that you have any other source of cooperation or ideas that you would like to develop with our working groups. We will be thrilled to have you as part of our partnerships. And final comment, but not least, we wanna ask you to open your cameras to take a picture related to the attendees of this event today. I think will be very fruitful. Part of this information will be posted on the LinkedIn of WiNI Global Young Generation. And as we mentioned before, the recording will be available in a few days. So we just want to ask everyone to open your cameras. I think that will be amazing. We're very happy to have a large audience today. So
Can we smile?
I think, let me see.
Not to smile.
Let me.
Are we allowed to smile?
I'm trying to open everyone's.
Yes, you're very well.
Everyone is allowed to smile. So I'm now allowing everyone to open your camera. Sorry, just taking a little bit. Geraldine, if you can just help me to take this screenshot when.
Okay, I am coming.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
So, okay, so we can open up our cameras, please,
Yes.
and let's give it a smile.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think it's disabled.
It's disabled, so I'm just enabling cameras for participants. Oh, sorry, this is part of the configuration of the meeting. Apologies for that. And more people are able to open their cameras. We are seeing more members there. And everyone, if you have any other further questions, please.
Yeah, someone's still saying their camera is still disabled. Yeah, we can open it. Camera is disabled. Can we make do with? Okay, yes, more people are coming in.
Let me see.
Yes, we have one more person joining.
Yeah, I think everyone is able to open their cameras. Sorry.
Okay.
Not everyone. Can you just give a second try? I think more people are hearing.
Yes, more people are coming in. Okay.
So we should smile again.
Yeah, please, you can smile.
Okay. So more people are coming to the picture.
Just a question for Godsfavour. Are you right now in Marseille or?
Right now I'm in Prague, but
Prague, check.
Yeah, but I'll be moving to Brussels next week to resume work. So yes.
Oh, perfect. Because I heard you say Marseille University, so that's Marseille. I used to live in Marseille.
Okay.
All right, so I think we have something good we could work with. Thank you very much for allowing us to take these pictures.
At the count of 3, if you can help me also, Geraldine. So 1,
okay.
2, please give me your biggest smile. 3.
Got it.
Okay, just one last.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. That's all for today. Thank you so much to all of you for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. We wish you all the best in this journey. And please reach out to us if you have any other further questions or to the speakers.